What up? Welcome to another episode. This is the Gangsta Rapologist down here doing more gangsta rap reviews, breakdowns, whatever. Today is a breakdown. This is the first of its kind on this channel. What we're gonna do is just take a track and just break it down. We're gonna listen to the lyrics, we're gonna dissect the beat, and then in the end, we're gonna try to just get meaning from what in the world? What is the story to be told here? What is it? How appropriate is it to start off with Bizzy Bone? And I'm talking about Thugz Cry off of the Heavens movie record back in 1998. I've given Bizzy Bone a couple listens on this channel, and the reviews the scores and all that haven't been too favorable, but I don't want you guys to get it twisted because Bizzy Bone is my favorite Bone member. I love the guy. To me, he is the best one out of the group. So distinguished, a little crazy, but there's always drama in Bizzy Bone's life. So what I want to do is let's talk about this track a little bit. This track was produced by Johnny J. He's done work with Tupac. And then, of course, Bizzy had his hands on some of the production here, too. Off the Heavens movie record, which was kind of controversial because of the lyrics and some of the songs were just cut short. Now, the internet or the wiki, some news source, says that they were cut short because they couldn't get sample clearance. I think that's cap. I think they were cut short because they were filled with disses to Tamika. I don't know where I heard that, but that's always been the story I heard, and that's what I would tell somebody today. They cut some of these tracks short because the lyrics were not favorable. The guy has a diss to Tamika on this track, and then in the credits, he kind of calls her the Black Widow. So, I don't know, I'm not surprised. But I want to talk about when Thugz Cry specifically. First of all, we can give credit to the influence of this track, which I've never heard in my life before this. The original was performed by Frankie Valli. Yeah, I think that's how you say that. And When Doves Cry. Interesting. Now we know Doves Cry, that's Prince, but it really doesn't sound anything like that in my opinion. But what it does sound like, this Frankie Valli track, first time I ever heard it, let's check it out.
My eyes of Georgia. Oh, I never laid a hand on you. My eyes of Georgia. Like a million miles away from me, you couldn't see how I adored you. So close and yet so...
Okay, I think that's enough. You get the point though. This was pretty cool the way it started, man. Like, I couldn't believe it. The strings, man, are like, dun, 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 dun. Like, that's Thugz Cry. Man, it's crazy. So, where they got the influence from for this beat. Let's go ahead and check it out. Let's play it, and I'll be pausing it and just telling you about what I've heard, and we'll just talk about some of these lyrics.
The ghetto media. You don't let the light skin for you. I will fuck you up. This is what it sounded like. 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 When Thugz cry. When Thugz cry. This is what it sounded like. 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 When Thugz cry. When Thugz cry. Nigga, we represent the planet. Get schizophrenic and panic. Maybe the fans would understand. If they get up their ass and mad, how do you manage? Paranoid, don't even trust my boys. Watch for the plot and the floors and boys. Doping like a doping. I'm broke in the alleys with these ghetto guns and I race my fuck squad. Niggas in Cali take bullets to the brain to rowdy. Jesus really never died. You crucified me to a suicide. Or am I local with vocals? Never coast to coast. Having a moment ride. Deception.
All right, to get started, we already hear the sample that he took from Frankie Valli, whatever. It's exact, man. Total copy. But, of course, they gave credit. just so cool to hear it. And then it just continues through the song. The original song kind of does away with it, of course, but this one just rolls with that string through its entirety, at least this far. Some of the lyrics here. Let's see what do we got here. And I'm just pulling up the lyrics online. Let's see. We represent the planet, get schizophrenic and panic. Maybe the fans would understand if they'd get off their ass and manage. How do you manage? Paranoid. Don't even trust my boys. Sounds like Busy all the way, doesn't it? Paranoid. Don't even trust my boys. Schizophrenic. I mean, this is all kinds Busy. He also just starts off the song with just saying, when thugs cry, when thugs cry. And that's pretty much the hook on this track. So nothing too complicated, but I'm a simple man. I like simple things. I don't know. Reading it doesn't really make much sense or give it much rhythm. But Bizzy Bone, because he's doing syllables twice as fast, for some reason it sounds like it makes sense. Pretty weird. So let's continue on.
When I get the stepping, never the weapons go. And the doctor said I need time to myself on the ocean goes. Scribbling stuff for the ball up for this independent. Going up, never relentless, evil intention. No man knows I'm even a henchman. Warrior poet, never to mention. My lady rebel. And we can get this joke on. And we can get this joke on. And we can get this joke on. And we can get this joke on.
All right. Evil intentions. Nobody knows him. Even the henchman, warrior, poet. That's cool, man. He's calling himself a warrior, a poet. I mean, he's on some future biblical type of stuff, some classic writing, arguably a rapper writer, like in the sense of that he could be a classic writer. I mean, I just really like the way he's writing this shit. Never did mention I love my lady rebel, whatever. And we can get the stroke on. I mean, who's Lady Rebel? I don't know. Lady Rebel. I mean, I assume that he's calling a chick Lady Rebel, and they can get their stroke on, you know what I mean? Kind of a cool way to end that verse. Get killed when they get to step in, remember the weapons closed, and the doctor said, I need time to myself on the ocean. Like, it's crazy. These are like word salads, but you just have to be in Busy's head, because he's just like all over the place. He's not really telling much of a story here. He's just kind of like throwing out his emotions. Very abstract. Very abstract. You have to get in the head of Busy to really know what he's aiming for here. But, by the end of the song, we'll have a pretty good idea, I hope. Let's see, man. Let's see. Let's keep this going. So the hook is a little different than what we heard in the beginning. I like hearing Busy in the background, just saying different things, are you ready? And then we have that bass, man. It's just going dun, 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 dun. It's real cool, real cool. I like what we got here.
We keeping the lights on and ruthless and night. Fucking the boss, looking at me sexy, take your clothes off. I'm a digger, yo, son. Never make business with your sickness, and I'm see me flipping in a picnic with your little dividing conga. But my sister was ready to farm her, get off the Disney. And above my boys, me and my boys, give us a choice. How could you ever tell Sony that I was the only one making noise?
Okay, we're gonna stop it right there. He gave us a lot to work with here. This is, first of all, he's saying that they're keeping the lights on at Ruthless, and they are. This is Bone Thugs and Harmony in the late '90s, the only platinum artists of Ruthless Records at this point, and we saw the lights dimming already at this stage. Easy was gone, Tamika was running it, and Bone Thugs were keeping the lights on at Ruthless. Oh, and he ain't fucking the boss. He says that she could take her clothes off and his dick will go soft. And he doesn't mix business with their sickness. And he's given the impression that she's hitting on him, It's kind of weird. And he's like, nah. And then he claims that she told Sony that he was the only one making noise and to get off his voice and something about his boys. Me and my boys give his choice. Whatever, man. It's so crazy. He's kind of giving himself props here. It's a weird diss because this is his brothers too. You know, he's just admitting that, oh, Tamika thinks I'm the only one of this group that can make noise or whatever. Either way, strange that he would put it on wax, but that was a Tamika diss for sure. Let's continue on.
Never judge your book by the cover, word to the motherfucker. I didn't stutter, but what if I lost and it came in the office and nobody noticed with liquid explosives on top of Versace clothes? Give up the ghost. Crazy's Picasso, little lazy's like Caesar, stacks like little Pesci in Casino and Wish. Don't give a fuck. Oh, I'm Gambino, been a walking dead. Woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Bible of survival, 666 rivals, 666 rivals. Remember you said I read, but I wrote with killers. Niggas out of us in the club, you don't feel us. Strapped in the bed, strapped picking up the cans on the realest.
Okay, the second half of that verse, he goes after 666 Mafia. It's crazy. He says the Bible of survival, 666 rivals. But then he says that he'll bust in the club. You don't feel as strapped, all this stuff. We know that there was always beef between 666 and Bone Thugs. Kind of, they kept it on wax, whatever. It was kind of a subtle beef. Like, it didn't make big headlines or nothing like that. But that was a cool little diss to them. Alberna had a diss to them similarly on, Lazy Bones Alberna record. So there's no love lost here. And before that, he writes about going into the office with liquid explosives and blowing it up and giving up the ghost. I'm assuming he's talking about Ruthless Records, that office. And then he gives props to his Bone Thug members here. Crazy's Picasso, lazy like Little Caesar, stacks like Little Pesci and Casino, Wish don't give a fuck, It's cool. I'm glad that he brought them in, because it's the only shout out I think they really get on the record. Oddly enough, there are no other Bone members on this record. But, we wanted a solo, we got a solo. Let's keep it going.
When it's too late, soon as you flipped off the safety, baby, this we all, they don't tell me you crazy. What they tell me, hell no. For the reason this weeping, we all be the demon so cheap. And at least she peeping so peep, deep down in your pockets, don't sleep. Running with my crucifix, Lucifer usually uses the root of these wicked chicks in the school of these ghetto gangs and the food of these bitches.
Okay, I want to pause it there. I just noticed something that I never really realized, but I think we got another Tamika diss here. Let's see. For the same reason this weeping widow be the demon. Oh, so cheap, and at least she go peep deep, dead in your pockets, no sleep. Like I said, a lot of this stuff is hard to interpret from Bizzy Bone's own writing. It's crazy. But then, okay, let's talk about that line though. He says, the reason the widow be the demon, for the reason this weeping, widow be the demon, so cheap, so I think he's saying that she isn't paying him or she's cheap. And the reason for this weeping, I think that's his weeping, widow be the demon. He's like saying the widow, that's Tamika Wright, be the demon. Pretty cool, man. Dead in your pockets, no sleep. He does get crazy on some of these lyrics, like rolling with my crucifix. Lucifer usually uses the rules of these wicked tricks in the school of the ghetto games and the fool of this bitch missed. What? Wow. Like I said, man, Bizzy is out there, kind of like these wicked word salads. I love the man. Let's keep going.
Enemies attacking me. Actually, I'm in the grain, that's Mr. Majesty. These casualties, well, they passing me by. But I get that falling when it's so cold in the room. Who's golden? Better come after me. We say, fuck, yo. All in the battle, we battle in Thugz Cry. This is what it sounds like when Thugz Cry. This is what it sounded like. This is what it sounded like.
All right. I like how this verse ends, man. We just got this crazy writing from Bizzy here. But I hear death calling when it's so cold in the room. Who's stalling? Better come after me. We say, fuck y'all. But anyways, I love that line. But I hear Death calling when it's so cold in the room. Damn, man, that's crazy writing. The dude's an artist for sure. You know, overall, pretty cool track. I like that he gives props to Mr. Majesty, who I think is on some of these other tracks. I don't know. It's the only featured artist, I think, on this record. But when Thugs Cry, man, let's finish it off. I mean, we know how it's going to end.
This is what it sounded like. This is what it sounded like. This is what it sounded like. When the thugs cry, when the thugs cry, when the thugs, 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 when the thugs cry.
Okay, that's how it ends. A little weird. It ends a little bit strange on, Spotify or your streaming services because it's on the Bizzy Bone Greatest Hits. This must be volume 1. I remember it ending a little different on the CD. Nothing big, just like it continued, and then I could hear I think the next song started with an explosion or something. Anyways, it's cool. I like the way it ends. They kind of get rid of the bass, and then they just focus on those strings that they took from Frankie V or Vili, whatever. Frankie, and his cool song. Overall, I think what Busy started here was just like he wanted to let out some frustrations, and he's so frustrated and mad, like an Edgar Allan Poe type of rapper, that he can't even really put it into real sentences. He's throwing out these crazy ass, words like, rolling with my crucifix Lucifer usually uses. What? That's so abstract. It's so out there. Talking about the widow in this strange way, the reason for these weeps, like his weeps, like, damn, man, it's cool, man. It just makes me nervous, like goosebumps here, man. The way he writes, I like the little disses. They're not anything crazy, but dissing 666 Mafia, dissing Tamika, right? Why not? Giving a little props to his boys, Bone. Fucking badass. These guys were the shit in the late 90s. They were the shit, and he definitely had his ego all over this. His crazy ass ego. Little did we know this was just the start of more to come from the great Bizzy Bone. So that's the analysis of When Thugs Cry. You like this song? Let me know what you think about it in the comments. We're going to keep doing these. But hey, listen to some Bizzy Bone. Get him out there on your playlist. And give me your requests. What other tracks should we kind of take a deep dive into? This is the Gangsta Rapologist channel. Thanks for checking us out. Peace.